Hello, it's me. There's no escape. The subject of this video is surprising to pretty much no one, I'm thinking. Especially if you've seen me from any other social media whatsoever. Aside from drawing, the first art that I really got into was knitting when I was like, I want to say 7, which was actually crocheting because my mom knew how to crochet and never learned how to knit. But I learned kind of how to hold things, how to approach things, how to count stitches in crochet, but as I got older I realized it wasn't really what I was looking for in terms of stretchy, squishy sweater kind of things. And looking back on it, I am really surprised that I literally wasn't aware of the weird gender politics over knitting until I was maybe 16. If you're not aware, or you just want to hear me say it out loud, I have experienced some interesting pushback due to the fact that I knit, and I know a lot of other guys who knit will probably say, yeah, that's the thing. As an example, when I was 16 or 17, something like that, I distinctly remember offering to teach a guy in my church to knit, but he told me no, and afterwards told me the reason he said no was because his sisters informed him that he shouldn't say yes because people at school would think that he's gay. Never mind the fact that he initially showed interest on his own, everybody else in his family was telling him, no, don't do that, otherwise people are going to think things about you. Since then, over many and varied events in my life, obviously I care less about what people think of me. But that's always stuck with me as one of my first realizations of, oh, people really think that if a guy makes his own comfy sweater, that it means certain things that are completely unrelated. So this channel is whatever I want it to be, and honestly what I want it to be is a source of irritation for the kinds of people who try to co-opt the term traditional skills and try to act like they own it as if it means something specific, other than just literally doing the thing that those skills help you do. I also want this channel to be a resource for the kinds of people who are interested in certain things, but are wary of being associated with the types of people who tell their brother not to learn how to knit because people might think things. But I digress. A lot of knitters and other fiber artists talk about how if they charge for their time what's a living wage in their area, then the price of that item would be just astronomical. And I understand that approach. However, one of the reasons that I do list my knitting on my website and my shop, which will be in a link in the description, is because I've been told over the years that I knit abnormally fast. So in the clips, which I'll show you in just a second, which were recorded quite a while ago, you can probably tell by my hair length and some other things, I wanted to record how long it would take me to knit one of the hat designs that I post on my shop. Also as proof that I do in fact knit unusually fast, which helps me pay myself more of a living wage for each item, but I can also make my items more on the accessible end of things. I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but as I remember, that hat takes a little over 2 hours to make, and I will try to make it fast enough that it doesn't drag on too much, but here we go. Thank you for sticking with me through that. I wanted to also show off some of the things that I've made between then and now as a non-hyperactive example. This is the hat that I made myself personally, which is a colorway that's not offered on the shop, but I like the shade of green, so I made this one for myself. And you might see it in one of my t-shirt listings, because it kind of goes with the Odin Hates Nazis t-shirt. This is almost finished, except for that hat that I made for a trade for someone who was making me a Minecraft themed thing, because I used to play that. I might play it again eventually, but there it is. And also this thing. This is made out of my hand-spun wool, which I do have one or two other videos using my spinning wheel, and I have no idea what type of wool this is, but I like how it came out not slightly off-white, but there's just enough variation in there where it's not like it's navy blue versus black, it's not like off-white versus white, but it's extra stretchy, and I had some left over from a bigger project. I have a sweater that's like 90% done, and here's what's left of that. I also make gloves, which my default pattern is made to fit my slender, pokey hands, but if you're interested in any of these, as well as anything else, I could make you some if you give me measurements, but these have seen things, because I wear these all the time in the winter. I probably should get something with fingers, because all my pointy bits get cold. And there's this guy. I think I lied just slightly, because this is one that I made a long time ago, and I have a pattern for him somewhere, and I started branching out trying to make other animals, but never really got very far. Some other events started ramping up, so I didn't have the brain space, but I used to make quite a lot of plushies. There's at least a couple screen-accurate Pokemon plushies out there in the world somewhere. But like I said, I did start with crochet, and I don't like crochet wearable kind of things because it's not as stretchy and it's kind of denser, but something that I am formulating to add to my shop is based around this kind of thing. To go into some more decorative things with some different symbols in the middle. I like the logistics of crochet, whereas in knitting I tend to like to just get a really nice yarn that feels nice and make a big block of it and wear it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna regret this in about 30 seconds, so thank you so much for watching. I love to share what I do because I know I'm not the only one who's interested in these kind of things. And to say again, I don't think people should have a monopoly on what traditional skills means. So if you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe. That lets me know who I'm actually talking to and what you're interested in. And until then, I will see you next time.